says there were sounds and voices on the cockpit voice recorder, but that it is too early to draw any conclusions. He hopes investigators will have more concrete information in a few weeks or months. And those are the headlines at this time. The discussion on the forthcoming elections continue on Nigeria 2015. It's back to you, Chamberlain. I'm Imana.
Very well. Thank you very much indeed, Imana. Well, let's start off with Idris. Idris is going to report to us from Kano today. Well, Idris sends in this report. Let's take a look.
Kano State Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security has announced sensitization guidance for compliance by the general public during the Saturday's Presidential and National Assembly's election. According to the Kano State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, from 6 p.m. on Friday, all exits in Kano State will be closed down, which means there will be no intra and interstate movement. The guidelines also requires that whoever desires to cast his vote should stay 300 meters away from the polling stations and return back to their residences after casting their votes. Now, in the next few days to come, we're going to see movement of troops in order to ensure compliance of these electoral guidelines. However, Chamberlain, the Independent National Electoral Commission here in Kano is saying that nothing is missing. All sensitive and non-sensitive materials are already in place to ensure a successful conduct of the elections. But the problem is on the issue of the PVC, because last time I told you that thousands of people could not collect their permanent voters card. But the Commission has said that those cards will be in Kano before Friday, and that it is looking at the possibility of distributing those cards at the polling units on election day. But many people are asking, is it going to be possible for INEC to distribute those cards at the polling units and on election day? But the Commission is saying with the approval from the national headquarters, everything is going to be possible.
Okay, so there you have Idris's report. So talking about security, and you also heard previously on the headline news. But don't worry, we'll examine some of those matters and more when we return here on Nigeria 2015. Join us again. Welcome back to Nigeria 2015. Well, on the other side, it is Chief Olisamitu, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, that joins us from our studios in Abuja. And I'm going to go ahead and go straight to him. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today. It's going to be a big weekend, and you held a press conference today. And what was the summary of that press conference? Because, I mean, tell us about the conference you held today. Okay, I hope he has his mic connected. Can you hear me, Chief Mitu?
I really can't hear you.
Okay, all right. They'll sort it out. Let's give them a moment.
Something is wrong with the transmission. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you right now.
Okay, well, it's going to be a big weekend. Everybody's looking forward to it. Lajulai Mohammed also looking forward to it. I imagine you are too. How optimistic are you? Because I understand you held a press conference saying that you were going to win. How?
How optimistic are you? Because I understand you held a press conference saying that you were going to win. How?
Very optimistic. Very optimistic because we have seen the response of Nigerians to the verifiable record of achievements that our president has. In the last few weeks, we have run a campaign based on issues. We have run a campaign showing the record of achievements of the president on all sectors of the economy. Most importantly, we have proven that in the interest of the peace, unity, and progress of our nation, that we need to re-elect President Goodluck Jonathan. His democratic credentials, Nigerians are very much aware of it. And we believe that with the response of Nigerians, that there is no way we will not win this election with a very good margin. So I'm very optimistic.
Okay.
And this optimism is displayed by the two statements issued by the two parties today. We issued a statement on how ready we are about the election, dwelling on issues, the record of achievements of our president, what he has done and what he has achieved in the past 4 years. Our competitors at the opposition decided to issue a statement of abuse and insult as well, as always, with the lies of today, dwelling on things that are not issues. So it's obvious who is prepared for the election. That's why we're confident that we'll win. I believe that by now it's obvious to them that Nigerians have rejected them.
All right, look at your party manifesto, going through it. I see where you're talking about in the short term, you will get Nigeria back to work by launching a robust investment program and infrastructure. How do you plan to do this?
Well, we intend to exploit and take advantage of the dilapidated infrastructure we have here, such as roads, such as railway networks, such as electricity, such as housing, and invest, in what we call public works programs. These public work programs will put Nigeria back to work because it will give us the opportunity to employ youngsters who up till now are either unemployed. And when you look at our manifesto, it's a holistic manifesto, because if you look at the area that deals with education, for instance, we said we are going to provide 2 local technical institutes per state. These local technical institutes, will provide free skill acquisition, for all our youth. Because what we've realized today as the bane of our economic growth is the huge gap, between the engineers and the technicians. We lack middle-level technical manpower. But we intend to put Nigeria back to work, primarily by investing in public works programs. Secondly, we do appreciate the fact that this will only provide short-term employment. To have a long-term employment which is going to be sustainable, which can sustain the economy, we intend to do one thing first. That is, we must win Nigeria off its dangerous addiction to oil. Today, oil alone accounts for about 90% of our foreign earnings and about 66% of all our public spending. That is why the moment there's any volatility in the oil sector, our economy is out of gear.
Okay, let me quickly revisit this other point where the earlier one you mentioned about the technical
institutes.
Part of it. What's wrong with perhaps strengthening we have polytechnics, we've got technical colleges in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
If you look at those 2 areas, if you strengthen them, wouldn't that be better than providing the technical institutes?
No. Who are we providing technical institutes to? It's to young graduates who have left university, to enable them to acquire skills, or young school leavers to enable them to acquire skills. One thing we're going to do, and we must be courageous enough, that we have to revisit the entire educational system. Today, our education system is wrong in one respect. We have JSS, junior secondary school, and senior secondary school. And whoever devised that program that says that those who do very well at the JSS exams, final exam, will proceed to secondary school, to senior secondary school. But those who don't do very well will have to go to technical institutes. By that very, policy, you are saying that those who are going to technical schools are inferior to those who are going to secondary school. And this probably explains for why there is this needless controversy between university graduates and those who have gone to technical schools. So what we intend to do is provide a basic 9-year education for everybody, after which you can go to, wherever you want to go to. But clearly, we are going to invest more money in technical education and in science.
All right, let me get over to Chief Metu in Abuja. Well, Chief Metu, about the economy, the implementation strategy that your party outlined in your manifesto this year, you are talking about expanding the poverty reduction measures. Could you give us specifics how you plan to do that? I don't think he still can hear us on this time. All right, we'll still have time to sort that out. But in the meantime, let's go over to Maria Bird. She sends her report from the state about these elections. Hello, Maria.
With less than 4 days left until Nigeria's presidential elections, U.S. President Barack Obama makes an appeal to Nigerians, encouraging fair, credible, and peaceful elections. Some Nigerians agree with President Obama's statement that was released yesterday, but are not convinced that it will truly have an impact on Nigerians' reaction to the upcoming election. One Nigerian woman says, "It's a good message. It is also a good step to dismiss the feelings by many Nigerians who feel that the U.S. has abandoned us in this time of need, specifically as it relates to Boko Haram." Members of U.S.-based Nigerian advocacy organizations echo similar sentiments, as they are hopeful that President Obama's remarks are taken seriously, as they are watching very closely.
Well, thank you, Maria, reporting to us from the United States. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.